It would seem reggae has been stopped. It would seem that the march to State House, the unstoppable march to State House, has been stopped. Those rallies are not going on at the moment. And we don't know for how long or whether it is forever. But I will tell you one thing I am very sure cannot be stopped, will never be stopped. And that is the Azusa Street manenos. Thank God we live in the internet age. It is not easy to fool a thinking person. It is very easy to quickly Google something and find out more. Yeah, but hold your horses. I will talk a little more about that later on this show. Folks, my dear friends, we live in a very different world from the one we lived in just a handful of weeks ago. Most aircrafts around the world that were previously very busy are grounded. They have nowhere to go. What used to be called the travel industry is no more. Around the world, most people are now operating from home, from their houses. And some people are very lucky. They have beautiful, wonderful homes. And some even have swimming pools. And we are told swimming pools are safe. You can't transmit this thing in a swimming pool. Chlorine manenos. But of course, the vast majority have houses that are not so nice. Many working people used to spend very little time at home in the houses. And therefore it did not make sense to have such a nice house. But now, this is the place where you have to spend your whole day. And it is a lot worse for those people who are very far away from home. And even if they had the money for an air ticket back home, in many instances, it is impossible to get to an airport and take a flight home, back to Kenya. Bottom line, right across the globe, and this is something super fascinating. Most of the human race have a lot more time to think than they've ever had, maybe for a very long time. Most people have time to reflect, something they have not been able to do for a very long time. Because let's face it, we lived in a very fast-paced world. A world with many distractions, demanding your attention every waking hour. That has now changed. And things don't happen, never happen without a reason. And so, what is the reason? Who is this demanding our attention? And why? Well, there are some things which is better that you figure out for yourself. Why? Because if we start getting into an argument, there's something called denial that usually kicks in. And according to human nature, emphasis shifts away from the truth to you winning the argument. And I must add, some people are angry and they're also baffled. How is it that the human race, with all our very advanced technology, with all our scientific smartness and breakthroughs, why is it that we can't figure out how to stop this thing? You know, we have had some very interesting conspiracy theories that have come up in recent times. And I was shocked a few hours ago when I saw some of these conspiracy theories spilling out into mainstream news. The United States and China are throwing accusations at each other. China is saying Patient Zero was not a Chinese. Patient Zero came from the United States. That's what China is saying. And the US of A is saying, no, this is the wrong time to get involved in such discussions. Such unfounded, ridiculous theories that have absolutely zero evidence to back them. Anyway, let's come back home to Kenya. Now you need to know, if you already didn't know, that all news organizations and many YouTube channels now have a very big problem. And remember, I'm talking about Kenya. And the problem is news to feed to Kenyans who are mostly news junkies. BBI rallies cancelled. Tanga rallies cancelled. And most newsmakers are holed up in their houses, in their homes. What? Somebody really wants our attention. And since people in these news organizations must keep their jobs, have to keep their jobs, if there's no news, create it. Take something small and blow it up. For example, Deputy President William Samoei Ruto was missing on Sunday when the president made his big announcement, his big lockdown announcement. By the way, the announcement was made after a long meeting of the Emergency Response Task Force, meaning that the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya did not even attend that one. Actually, the Deputy President was attending a church service in Langata, Friends Church, the Quakers. Anyway, the big news being created here is that this is an illustration of the widening rift between the president and his deputy. Let me ask you a simple question. You're going through a very messy divorce with your wife. And there's a very major event in school involving your children. And you fail to show up. In your view, would it be accurate to say this illustrates the widening rift between you and your wife? In my view, I don't think so. Now, on this channel, which many of you love, which many of you never miss, and thank you very much, I'm always humbled, we have a similar problem. Not the same problem, a similar problem. I have very many hot stories which I've prepared over the years. And I'm the curious type. Therefore, I have a lot of notes that I could quickly look at and come up with a very hot, entertaining video. But folks, I can't dare. And even when I'm forced back to my notes, because there's a lull in developing events, I have to be super cautious. Why? Because I fear, I fear the one who is demanding the attention of the world. And there's another reason. And it is this. I'm fully aware that my dear subscribers, most of us, are going through a very traumatic time. And so, instead of focusing on sensationalizing things, instead of focusing on diverting people's attention from their troubles, I feel it is better to focus on my dear subscribers and what they're going through. That one makes much more sense to me. And so, let's focus on you, with a laser beam-like focus for a few minutes. You can't sit in front of your TV the whole day. Neither can your children from school. And most places you take them for entertainment are closed. My advice, seriously consider homeschooling. And with technology, this has become very easy. There's a lot of educational stuff on YouTube. And to get through to your kids, don't make it boring. Don't force them. Lazima hesabu, mathematics. You're weak in that. So only mathematics videos, only. Start with things they're interested in, genuinely interested in. Yeah, education should not be boring. The journey of discovery should be an adventure, exciting. Give them fascinating assignments. Yeah, like how was aviation discovered? Why are sharks scary? If your kids get all excited when they're reporting back to you, the assignment you gave them, then you have succeeded. If they can't remember what they found out, you've failed. Now let's move on to you. In a previous video, I introduced the idea of vertical sack farming. And that one is still on, for those of you who are interested. But today, I introduce something else. It is very clear, even after this crisis is over, that we're all going to move to a situation where as much as possible of our businesses or what we do will be done online. So the customers are not coming to you as usual. Yeah, everybody's holed up at home. Yeah, but your customers are still out there somewhere. So try and think of how you can be able to deal with your customers online. This is an opportunity. Whatever you have been doing, explore how you can transfer all of it online. Now in 2018, I produced the online video tutorials on how you can do business online. In fact, any business you can think of. Selling phones, selling your fruits, selling vegetables, anything. That tutorial is still available, and you can see details on your screen on how you can get more information on how to grab them. Okay? And today I've slashed the price by half, 50%. It is now only $29, $2,900. And what is more, I will throw in for free my very well-received documentary on how to prosper in hard times. Yeah, like the ones we've just now entered. Folks, instead of being worried, instead of complaining, let us quickly adjust to the new realities. Now, before I go, let us quickly go back to what I promised you at the beginning of our show today. Now, what happened at this little known street, somewhere in Los Angeles, United States of America, happened a long, long time ago. But there's a very good reason why I'm drawing your attention to it. And this is because multiple prophecies that I started hearing when I was in primary school have indicated that for a reason we may not understand, Kenya has been chosen as the country where something very major is going to be launched by God Almighty. And therefore what happened at Azusa Street is of great interest, of great importance, because it is going to happen in Kenya and it cannot be stopped. And it is very important. And therefore, if you look at the top right-hand corner of your screens right now, there's a link to a video where eyewitnesses, people who are actually there, not stories, people who are actually there, tell us what went down. I've also included the same link in the description area below, for those using mobile devices who may not be able to see the link, when I put it on the top right-hand corner of the screen. I've also put a link to the same video, at the end of this video, on the top right-hand corner. Folks, whatever happens going forward, I'm here. I'm here to discuss. And I'm here to hold your hand if necessary. Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha.